I just had some cold M&Ms from the fridge and you are dying to know, are we in a bull market or a bear market? And let me tell you something, friends, I don't really know. But if we go according to what we've been talking about for the past 1.5 years, we are still in a bull market. I have been watching some other crypto YouTubers, a lot of Twitter people. They believe a bear market's actually started. And you know what? It could, but there's one thing I've been watching since day one, and is the weekly SuperTrend. And I've made a Twitter post here to show you very cleanly what's going on. This is the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and the SuperTrend is still green. And what I'm going to do right now is we're actually going to zoom in so we can take on the bears, and you can actually get a view of this close up. Okay, so what is the SuperTrend? Of course, friends, it depends on your time frame. Of course, you can put the SuperTrend on any time frame. The default number is 3. So all it does is it gets the average range. Okay, so it goes, what is the average range in this period? And then the 3 is how big you want to multiply that range. So now you have a big wide gap. And basically, if the chart goes above or below the range, you basically say, oh, you're significant now. That's a significant move. Okay, now on short time frames, there's a lot of fake outs. Okay, it goes green, red, green, red, green, red. And it makes sense, right? Crypto is very volatile. However, as we go to the higher time frames, it requires a lot more power, a lot more thrusting, to family friendly show, to change the trend. And if we put it on a weekly time frame, you can see that Bitcoin flipped green when? January 2023. See how this red line was here? Now we flipped green up here, and ever since that moment in time, we've never ever flipped red, okay? However, if you remember, friends, even last year in September, do you remember September felt terrible, like we were all about to get destroyed? The super trend was green the whole time. So it's not a silver bullet. Like, you know it's still green. Did it make you feel better though? Hell no. We all thought it was over. Okay, we could feel like, you know what? Crypto's a scam, man. I see what I mean, friends. So even though it's green, it's only in hindsight you go, oh, well, you know what I mean? My friend Tommy told me to stay bullish the whole time. I know, man. I know I was bullish. But it's not like I was jumping out of this squeaky chair saying, oh, well, God, everything's going to be fine. Why? Because ultimately, you still don't know what comes around the corner. Okay? But what happens now? Well, if we move forward now, you can see green, green, green. You see this line? You follow the whole line. This is the Bitcoin ETF, by the way. Okay? And we come up all the way to where we are now. And we're still green. However, doesn't mean it will never flip red. I can just tell you this, though. Every time it flips red, yeah, it's pretty much game over. All right? Look what happened when it flipped red last time. Now, this is the biggest shock of all. This, look, friends, this is why you don't have a perfect answer to everything here. When this flipped red, Bitcoin was down 53% in 2021, and altcoins were already down 75%. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, you've just lost 3/4 of your money. I think it's time to feel bad now. See what I mean? You want to get these things before. But the problem is, you don't know how hard things will go before they stop, okay? So what ended up happening was, it goes back to flip green. However, the second time it flipped red, it was pretty much game over. You know, around this period, friends, right here, Crypto Cobie, GCR, Arthur Hayes, that's when they started making their articles like, oh yeah, it's over, you're all going to zero. It was around this period, okay? So specifically what they watched was, they watched it break the high and then come back and capitulate, and they watched this happen. And when they started watching this happen, they're like, oh yeah, it's pretty much over, okay? It's just interesting, right? It coincided with a weekly super trend flipping red. Now, you're probably going to say to me, my friend Tommy, I would like to know how this played out in the past. Well, let's first explore our similar ghost fractal of 2013, 14, 15, 16, which was Mt. Gox, okay? Now, what ended up happening was in this cycle, friends, was we actually put on a log chart, right? We stayed along the green super trend. Look how long we stayed it for. From this period, we went all the way for 826 days. That's actually freaking huge, man. That's like, what, 2 years? Man, that's nuts, okay, straight. But look at this. Look how many close calls there were, by the way. See, we flipped red here. This is the post-Bitcoin halvening crash. By the way, this vertical line, this is the Bitcoin halvening. You see this dotted line? Okay, so we had a scare. It comes back, and then it comes forward. Okay, actually interesting, right? We are now 2 months before that. We might be having right now, friends, a Bitcoin halvening scare. Pretty crazy when you think about it. That's what we might be witnessing right now. We might be having that same scare, friends. All right, now, here's the thing. You don't know, right? It could always just wake up, do now. You don't have no idea, all right? But I'm just showing you that similar things have happened in the past, and we ended up recovering from that period in time, okay? And then what ends up happening after that point is, you know, there's just a friendship staircase to heaven. But don't forget, man, look how close this call was, friends. Look at this. This was, one of these is another scam Bitcoin ban in China. I mean, look at this. This literally flipped red, but it did not close the week. If it closed the week, it's significant. Look at this, look at this. I'm going to show you this now. This is crazy. 1, 2, 3 times, okay? 3 times, it just looked like it was over and it kept going up. And then what ended up happening was it goes up. Here we come again. As you can see, we accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. And probably no one's ever thinking that it's ever going to come down ever again. And then that's when it first cracks. But hey, that's the whole bull market done. Okay. So I just want to show you, I mean, like another way to look at it is, when did you flip red after the Bitcoin halvening? I mean, like, look how long it took, around 567 days. So if you just want to know, you know, it's around 18 months, friends. So you can just do like 567 divided by 365, yeah, about 1.5 years. Interesting. So what would 1.5 years or 18 months do for us? That is around, like, it's exactly where my number 2 is. It's around, you know, June, July, August, September next year. Okay, that's though, assuming, well, I made an assumption here, one, that you're my friend, you like, subscribe, and also that this cycle continues to be the Mt. Gox Ponzi fractal, where FTX is just like Mt. Gox. And just to let you know, friends, yeah, man, Mt. Gox was 80% of the world Bitcoin trading volume. And for that to be a Ponzi and go to zero, that is enormous damage. And we still came out of it, okay? So there are a lot of similarities in terms of that happening. However, right, it's not about you and me. Sometimes it's about the expectations of the market participants and everything coming forward. So a common mistake, I guess, people do is they anchor to their recent history. It's called recency bias, okay? And of course, friends, in our last cycle, you and I saw the zombie virus, okay? Everybody turned to zombies, flesh-eating zombies. We had to barricade ourselves in all the gun stores, of course. You know, one of our friends turns on us. You know how they all go. But this is pretty much a zombie virus crash here. Now, what was interesting is this had never happened before, pretty much. See, Bitcoin went up so much to recover. All right, this is the plus token Ponzi, pretty much the pump. Then it flipped red here. Okay, so it went up so much, so fast, and then it flipped red. However, I just want to remind you of something. Look where the Bitcoin halvening was. You see this Bitcoin halvening? So Bitcoin had a giant rally well before the Bitcoin halvening. Okay, we did not have that in our time. We started, okay, but we actually didn't. Now, this is the thing. We did have this run into the Bitcoin halvening, and now here we are today. So I guess it would almost be like, friends, if back here in July of 2023, instead of stopping here, if Bitcoin went up like and just shot up to like 60K. In July last year, then we'd still be like paying for our sins for it. But we never got that scenario, did we? It was more of like a slow, methodical, mechanical type of like walk up. That's the type of scenario that we got. And yeah, man, it did mark doom, didn't it? We flipped red on the SuperTrend, and then look what ends up coming next, the zombie virus. Now, even if you believe that zombie virus, let's say it did not happen, okay? If it did not happen, it's still pretty devastating to watch Bitcoin like go down here. Bitcoin's down 50%, okay? Because that means the altcoins are down 75%. So what I've done is I've just removed this like extreme dump part. So you can see that's pretty much the devastation. Now, here's the thing though. If we go after the Bitcoin halvening, that was around DeFi season. That's where we are today, okay? But still, you don't know, man. No one knows, friends. I'm just telling you right now, hey, it could be as simple as, oh, well, you're still green on the SuperTrend, and what are we doing now? You're still green on the SuperTrend. Yes, I know. Squiggly lines, colors, magic, rainbows. That's all we have to go off, friends. That's why sometimes you just gotta crank the music, friends, and just enjoy it. You know what I mean? No one knows what they're doing. No one. We're just drawing lines. We're praying. Some people are in. Some people are out. And friends, we all know we're long biased. You know what I mean? Like, of course, yeah, I want it to go up. You know what I mean? I want it to go up. We need it to go up. But yeah, I'm trying to be as objective as I can. No one knows what the hell's going on, okay? I'm not in the business of like, oh, we're going to have a little macro top or a macro. Like, who cares, man? Who cares? Ultimately, that doesn't really matter. All those people who come out and like peacock and stuff, you just see them put their heads between their legs. No one knows what the hell's going on, okay? But yeah, man, I like the super trend. It's a macro time frame. It's still green. And it is what it is. A lot of other people will do these other TA stuff. You know, I've seen Steve, or there's a Gravestone Doji and all these other people. And they all put their views out, friends. But what you've noticed in markets is like, and I hate to say it like this, but everybody just talks shit. And when they change, they like will speak to you with like such conviction that, no, that's fine. That was before this new information came. Forget everything I said. Anyway, and they just move forward. I don't like people like that, by the way, because it's kind of like they can tell you anything just to like be a salesman. This is the greatest thing ever. And they've got a contingency plan in their head. Oh, if it doesn't work out, we just like sweep that under the rug. We move on. You know what I mean? Because there's no consequence for themselves if they like get it wrong. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. Now, if you're seeking someone to tell you what's going to come next, I just want you to know that, man, they don't know what's going on. Most people don't know what's going on. However, I mean, the facts are, though, spooky enough, we are following the 4-year cycle to the exact tick. The weekly super trend, everything's been playing out. I mean, it's funny, man. I just showed you, like a couple of months after the Bitcoin halvening, and now it's kind of like scaring everyone. And that's what you want, man. I want everyone to be scared, okay? Because I know what the top's like. The top is not, we're like, oh my gosh, it could be over. No. The top is, they say, wow, I genuinely feel sorry for you and your grandchildren. Your grandchildren will have to work in the coal mines because you are clicking sell right now. And we are about to accelerate to the freaking moon, and you won't be able to retire because you're a little bitch and you're clicking sell. Okay, that's what the top is like. Do you understand? People are feeling sorry for you because you've decided to click sell. Okay, they generally look down on you. They really do. Okay. Right now, if you click sell, people are like, oh, look at this genius. You know what? It could be a bear market starting. You know what I mean? It's going up. When things go up, things go down, right? It's a different feeling, friends. But how do you get to this point? Well, maybe being here 18 hours a day helps. That's one other thing. In terms of that, I don't know what else there is to do. There is no formula. You can look at on-chain stuff. You can look at everyone has friends. You kind of figure out, man. Everyone's got a story. And they're just trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together to fit their own story. But it is what it is, man. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Now, you probably want to know, okay, what is the price where everybody, okay, start to sweat now, okay? Change your pants. You've been pooping around too much. Okay, the price is 52,200. You actually see it on the weekly super trend price. See this? Let's zoom in, friends. See this line here? So around 52K. If Bitcoin closes below this point, that red line, by the way, this green line is now going to flip up to that red part. It's going to look like that. And then we are in for, yeah, a poopy McPoop time. I mean, we've never ever had a super fast recovery except in the bull market when China banned us, you know. Also, if you're curious, if you want to go back in time, friends, to see what happens when you flip red, this was a double bubble scenario. We flipped red here, so I hope we don't get this. This is going to be scary. You flipped red. Next week, you're back in, and it just goes up only. However, this was 2013. This was like that double bubble scenario that we saw. But look at this. It's actually very consistent, isn't it? Right? Look at this. Look at this. I mean, even, this is the wild part, right? Even in Bitcoin, look at this, 2010, look at that, flip screen, yeah? The whole way. I mean, like, even this time, I mean, someone sold this down 94%, probably thought it was making a great decision of his life to sell Bitcoin at 6 cents. Look at this, kept walking up. And walking up and walking up, and here we go. That's the whole bull market. I mean, it's kind of crazy. If you want to do the actual timing of when this happened again, there you go. It's about 364 days, right? So, right, in one scenario, the Bitcoin top is like it goes for like a year of running up. We've actually passed that point now. So you can look at it start at any point or whatever, but it just kind of shows you that, hey, even when the market was more liquid, these things seem to have played out, right? So you already got to see it now, friends. Like, we didn't flip red, but it's not like you feel too good either, do you? You're looking at it like, oh, we didn't flip red. We didn't flip red. Things are great. Things are great. It never feels great, friends. It never feels great. You get so close, and you're like, this could be it. One more capitulation. You just need to know how easy it is, right? Germany, you know what I mean? What if someone else is like, you know what? Screw it. We're out. And what if, like, by the way, in markets, there's always a seller, okay? But remember, the bull market ends when you run out of buyers, all right? So there's always selling, always, okay? It just, you just don't know, do we have enough people lurking there or not? That's what you don't know. That's why the market like has to sell and then fight back up. And then it tells you that the bull market's on. And you're always just guessing. But it's kind of funny as well. I mean, like, this is what the monthly candle looks like, right? Look at this red monthly candle. 2 red monthly candles here, friends. And just like that, right? Look at this. 2 red monthly candles. And suddenly everyone turns into a short-term mindset person. They're looking at all their altcoins. It's literally like clockwork. 2 monthly candles down. I already knew before I even looked at Twitter or anywhere else. I go, okay, let me guess. Everybody is now on linear charts. Everybody is going to the altcoins and they're going to do the ruler measurement from the top to the bottom. And all of the altcoins are going to be between 50 to 90% down. There's going to be good ones, medium ones, weak ones. Okay, and every single person is just going to show that. But, well, they think they're being smart, but actually just revealing to you that they're underexposed. Okay, this happened every single cycle since before. That's why it's up to us to kind of figure out who are the strong ones, who do we want to be riding with. And you get to see, friends, like, it just turns out all the predictors, man, they were just guessing too. Even GCR, friends, you were here, man. Do you remember I made that video, right? I remember you were all here. GCR, so he literally... Okay, said, remember World War III FUD came here? See that point? The fake World War III FUD? I think Bitcoin made a lower low. And he said, look, Bitcoin made a lower low on the fake World War III FUD. So if you can find coins that made a higher low from that point, get long. Like, well, thanks, bro. That didn't work out, did it? So that's the kind of thing, friends, you get to see as well. People who you think are like gods and infinite wisdom and untouchable, you just watch them long enough, you see them get things wrong. And then you realize, oh, you're actually just human. Or you were just on like the greatest hot streak of your life. And then what you end up realizing is when you hear about the greatness of someone, you're actually hearing about them at their peak. And then after you discover them, they slowly mean revert down to like kind of good. Not God level, but they're still kind of good, you know what I mean? But it takes like years and years and years for you to kind of see that. All right, and that's why, friends, ultimately at the end of the day, we put like these indicators in our chart to protect us from ourselves, really, and not blindly trusting too many people ultimately at the end of the day. Now, we know the price, right? 52,200. Okay, what's the contingency plan? Well, first contingency plan is we're working drive-through Maccas. They're hiring. Okay, the next contingency plan, though, is, okay, what if Bitcoin says, you know what? Screw you all, we're going down. Well, if you're cheap here, if a $55,000 Bitcoin, I think, is a bad deal to be selling, then if it went down to 45 or 35, okay, well, that's even worse deal to sell. Okay, same thing for all the altcoins. Is there anything else we would be doing? Well, if we went back and flipped red, what really changes, friends? Well, for most of us, nothing changes. You don't have to watch like these 1 minute candles on leverage trading. You don't. Everybody else who does do that, though, they have to watch out. Okay, they're the ones they're gonna have to flip short bias, and pretty much though, like, who cares about them, because they're gonna be like looking for short scalps while we are looking for things to get long on or just continue holding, and that's ultimately how it's always gonna play out. So I'm just going to show you this picture of this anti-male, aka also known as a female, on the internet. I don't know why it went viral. You know, friends, it's kind of crypto Twitter. Anything that's a female just goes on. And that's I'm here to remind you, okay? Most people, all these simps on the internet, they are begging girls to reply back to them. Okay? But I'm not doing that. Instead, I am begging the devs to not rug our Telegram channels. Because I'm telling them, hey man, the super trend's still green. The bull market thesis, it's still the same. Nothing's changed. You know they're printing money. You know rates have to come down. You know the global liquidity index is a 4-year cycle. You know AI is still taking over the world. You know crypto is going to keep growing because people are bored and they are poor. You know inflation is really out of hand. You know everybody has to enter the casino because it's their last chance to kind of make it. You know all of these things. They have not changed just because what? A couple of cucks have sold Bitcoin. Okay, so that's where you have to differentiate yourself. Are you one of those losers who are like reply guy number 147 to some weird bitch on the internet? Are you that dude? Or are you someone else who's like, you know what? I can see potential out there. I know a lot of these other altcoins out there, friends. All you need to do is literally just survive. It's as simple as that. You're a megaphone. You're literally a loud megaphone. It's just that people give up because they're like, oh, I don't know. Are people really going to want to join in? Yes, man. Yes. Yes. Look how far the crypto industry has come after everything it's been through. Like, I mean, they depegged USDC. You know what I mean? That one, I'm going to hold a grudge for life, by the way. That was the one thing I'd never thought they'd do. Those evil bastards, okay? That was the one thing I thought that was the untouchable one. No, they did that, all right? So you keep that close to your heart, okay? But let me tell you something. If the wacky stuff on the bad side can happen, all right, they depegged USDC, imagine what wacky stuff is going to happen to the upside. Multiple countries are going to adopt stuff. More ETFs are coming, right? Things will come, friends. Things will come. The problem, though, is they don't come when you want them to. You want those announcements to come now. No. You know when they're going to come? $220,000 Bitcoin giving you every single reason in the world to hold. That's when the news are going to come. Okay, you just have to be ready for it. Okay, so for everyone else, stay long, stay strong. That's my opinion. Yeah, we could flunk out. We could go down and flip red. But for now, right, I'm not changing any bias whatsoever. This is actually expected. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been watching me for like past year and a half. I said many, many times that there's these close calls. It comes back to that weekly super trend and it hugs it and it sniffs it. But it does not close through and it keeps cracking forward. That's why I think personally, that would be the Max Payne scenario, friends. It would be where we just walk up and the bears just, they get so frustrated, they have to just smack everything up here and then we know it's over. That's what I think Max Payne scenario is, where we never have a period where we just go too wild. It's just kind of these walk ups, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, that whole way. Until finally, see, friends, you don't have any FOMO built up. You're already in. Trust me. There are people, you're going to see them, friends. You're going to see some wild stuff happen at the end. Because you're going to see what happens when people are oppressed, suppressed, and they've been watching everyone else win for month after month after month after month, okay? And they don't have the memories of us. They don't have the memories of these big fat red candles. All they're going to see is that they have dirty fiat in their bank accounts and in their wallets. And they're just going to see, literally, in their words, a bunch of retards who have said, oh, wow, golly gee, it did work out. All I had to do was not do anything. Okay? Now, it's funny for me and you, but for them, it kills them inside. It kills them. Okay? And instead of them saying, well, I'm a little soy boy bitch and I've got to wait for the next 4-year cycle. Instead of saying that, because it's gone so far, and because it's gone up for so long, if we do get it, what they end up saying is, you know, they're the guys, they message me. They go, my friend told me, look, I know you don't like people taking out loans, but I've got an $80,000 loan. I borrowed from my parents. I'm going to put in this yield fund. We're going to DeFi at 3%. I've got to go buy this because this is going to 15 billion. Okay. And they just have all these plan worked out, you know, and when I start getting those messages, I'm going to be saying, oh, well, so yeah, you know, your family, they're not going to want to know you in about 1 year, you know what I mean? So we're going to wait for that moment, friends. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Those people, they're still skeptical. They still feel smart, okay? They really feel smart, okay? Once they start bringing me these like plans of why it's a good idea to do this leverage and to throw it in here and to jump up this thing. You know, I know it's up 400x in 3 days, but it's going to go another 10x, and here's 5 reasons why. Once they start coming out, then the warning signs are here. But right now, I love it. I love it. Because why? Everyone's scared. And if everyone's scared, it means we're worried. And you know what a bull market is, friends? A bull market is where you climb the wall of worry. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Don't forget, he loves you. Catch you soon.